Yeah, everybody knows about the platypus. We saw Perry.
Exactly, but that's the only one that we can think of off the top. But when I was looking it up, artworks lay eggs too.
Oh, are geese mammals?
No, geese are birds.
Birds aren't mammals?
No,
Oh, they're
no,
modern
okay, birds are
dinosaurs.
not. Yes, okay. So in that theory, right? What came first, the chicken, the dinosaur, or the egg?
What?
Yep.
The egg?
How? Because if there was no dinosaur, how could there be an egg?
Maybe the dinosaur came from an egg.
Or it was just dropped here. You know, it was made from dirt, and it just got here.
Okay. Or, you know what? Maybe the tree dropped the egg and the egg hatched into an animal.
So if multiple animals were born that way first, how did they get here?
I think you're asking me God questions.
No, it's not a. It's not necessarily a God question, but it could be. But yeah, what came first, the chicken or the egg? That's the
I'm
topic.
still go with egg.
Okay, okay. I gotta go with the chicken though. Gotta go with the chicken because if there was no animal, how could there be an egg?
How could there be an animal with no egg?
Yes. How? No. No. Wait. No. No.
What?
No. No.
What? What?
The reverse. The reverse. The reverse.
Okay, and you're listening to Poetry Slam with K Bellz.
And your boy Napoleon B'Myte. We back.
We're back and glad to be out of B'Myte's freezer. Oh my gosh, it was cold up in there.
Not it was cold,
It
but you
was,
know what? I had to come icy.
yeah, you did that. So, um, I definitely came up. Okay, first of all, I want to say some really interesting pop culture things. First, something surprised me yesterday, which is that Lizzo has been accused of sexual assault
Oh
by her
yeah.
dancers. And I'd love to talk about that later and get TayDZ's opinion in the second hour of our show. Also, a great black movie just came out. They cloned Tyrone, and it inspired a poem from me. So I'm so excited to get to that.
Yeah. We ready.
You ready?
I'm
Okay, that was
ready.
just a teaser.
Okay.
Okay, you ready? Okay, wait a minute, wait a minute. Don't laugh. I'm about to laugh because I think I'm the funniest person ever.
Oh
But
my
this
goodness. Of
Tyrone
course.
poem I really just made a few minutes before the show. And it's like this is not what I thought of when I initially watched the movie. Like when I
Oh
watched the
man.
movie, I thought of this poem like a week later while I was being silly thinking about the movie. Um
I have yet to see it yet, so
yeah.
we're finna see how this poem is.
Okay,
I haven't
okay.
seen it yet. I want to though, but I haven't.
Okay. Here we go. I whipped this up and I titled it Tyrone.
Hmm.
Let me say something about Tyrone that you don't know because Badu is on the phone talking about, he's busy. The way she be singing, call him He's the most famous black man to ever put grills on his teeth, the greatest ghetto superstar to get it right through doing the wrong thing. What's it going to take to clone me into a movie, encapsulate my caricature into black culture? Because that is the dream, to be remembered in spirit after my body is dusted and mixed in cigarette ashes of the living. Smoke is fleeting, yet the feel good not forgotten. We are in control of more than yellow gold on a tooth shining. Okay, Bellz. Okay, so
Bellz with the Who Cloned Tyrone poem.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
So
a line that stuck out to me is what does it take to clone me? Right.
what does it take? Okay, so based on the movie, what does it take to clone you?
No, like that's the line that stuck out to me from your poem.
Oh, what's it going to take to clone me? Oh yeah, like what do I have to do, like as an artist, for someone to put me in a song or to make something that is significant enough to be repeated and like kind of become, I don't want to say an enigma, but a symbol,
right,
in like culture? Because who knows if Tyrone is even a real person, but it's such a popular name. Like people use the name Tyrone like they use Felicia. Like people say bye Felicia because of that phrase from the Friday movie, but like who's to say she was ever a real person? We just have an idea of her now. Like I want to be an idea at this point. Transcend me.
Not transcend.
Yes, call me the Aaron Rodgers or something.
Not the Aaron Rodgers of table tennis.
Of table tennis. You know what? I'm actually not good at ping pong. Like that's one of those things I gotta warm up at.
The Aaron Rodgers of table tennis.
I'd like to be the Aaron Rodgers of skate dancing if it was something like athletic. Like I think I could like commit my soul to that. Like yeah.
I can see that. Skate dancing. Ooh, skate dancing Bellz. And then you got Bellz on your skates.
Okay, that's a vibe. So this movie, they cloned Tyrone. Like the aesthetic of it kind of came across as sort of like late 90s, early 2000s. Like the way the movie looked, it didn't look like something that was really made today, but actually it was. It came out just a few weeks ago on Netflix, and it looked like the movie was taking place in the 90s, like the way some of the characters were dressed, but actually it was taking place in present time. So I thought it was interesting how they made it look nearly 30 years old, but they were filming like in a set of a ghetto. And I thought that was symbolic of like commentary of like the black community being economically set back because of pay gaps and such. Like it had a lot of symbolism and I guess social commentary about the black community now.
I gotta watch it. That's all I'm saying. I gotta watch it today or when I get a chance. As soon as I get a chance, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to see it. I'm trying to visualize it, but I can't really visualize it right now because I'm not seeing it.
You gotta see it. You gotta see it. It's really cool. And it's really fun to see a movie that is comedic and just a different vibe from Jordan Peele. Like Jordan Peele does like sort of horror comedy. This is sci-fi comedy. Yeah. And just like a few, it was actually funny. Like I was laughing within the first 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I gotta see it now. I gotta see it for sure now.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, sorry. I'm just scrolling through this BuzzFeed article, and I'm not going to say everything in this article, but it was like a masterclass on social issues, and like there are a few things that may have gone over your head, but like I'm just going to give you 2 things that were like small details that they included in the movie that was like kind of fun. Like
okay.
One thing is music can control human emotions. Like everybody knows that hip hop is a product of culture, but it tends to be very violent on the control music has over emotions and the hip hop to violence pipeline. And also
Right.
it kind of like a lot of I don't want to say double entendres,
Right.
but dichotomies. It shows you like only think of
Dichotomies.
random violence and people separating, but it's not really highlighted that the hood is also a community and people come together. So there were lots of examples of, yeah, it's a violent place and it's like you versus me,
Yeah.
but it's also a community and we come together. So great movie, highly recommend. And they cloned Tyrone.
Who called Tyrone? That's not the song. I'm done.
Yeah.
That was off. I have a poem, a newbie. Something I'm working on. It's not quite done yet, but running. Been running since COVID hit. Stuck in the house, not getting to do what I wanted. Grandma died in 21. Before I graduated, she didn't even get to see me walk across the stage in 22. She was one of the biggest supporters. Depression hit me harder than a ton of bricks. Too busy carrying everybody else's feelings so I don't talk about how I feel. It seems like a waste of time. I don't waste time. So don't trigger me. Leave me flying off the handle like an axe head. B'Myte.
Okay, wow, that was unexpected.
What you mean?
I who was that about?
It was just something random, something. It was just, I was just writing because I just felt like writing. It wasn't about anybody specific.
Oh,
It was
okay.
just,
So you're doing like storytelling sort of thing.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's new. That's new. Like your style is more like based on life events, like real life events. That's different. Like at one point I thought, is he talking about somebody who died?
Well, I mentioned my grandmother, and I was talking about how I don't really talk about how I feel because sometimes it just doesn't get through. So I don't waste my time.
Got you. Um well, that's what poetry's for. We're
Yeah,
using poetry as our um journal, like our diary. And
exactly.
every night is a night to read your diary.
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
Sometimes, but you just don't have time sometimes because you don't really feel like it.
Right. Okay. Well, did you want to say anything else about your poem?
Nah, that was it. That was it.
Okay. Well,
Did you have any other comments about my poem?
I don't have any other comments about your poem. It caught me off guard. I mean, it was definitely like a different style and it was a little short. So I look forward to hearing it again and how you've revised it to like a finished version. Because you said it's something you're working on and I think you
Right.
got to start.
Thank you.
Yes. So, our break is coming up, and I'm so excited to share with you another poem from my journal about my lifestyle habits.
Oh man. Oh
Yes,
man.
and maybe we'll look at a few of the information from the Lizzo allegations too.
Oh yeah, that would be fire. Cause I heard about that on the news not on the news, on the radio yesterday. It was just wild.
Wild. I feel like people don't expect that from women, but hey, power hungry things don't, discriminate. Like that behavior
Exactly.
is for anybody. So
Exactly. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It could come from anybody.
exactly. So we'll talk about it on the other side.
Oh man. All right. And we're back.
Yes, we are back. I'm Bellz.
And I'm your boy Napoleon B'Myte.
Yes. I'm so excited to tell you the poem that I wrote last week, revised this week. You know, I have created a reputation of reading some unfinished pieces. However, this week, I've got something for you that is rehearsed.
Okay. Brand new.
Brand new. You're not the only one trying new things.
Okay. We'll see.
Okay. Listen. Don't just look. This poem is called Just K. Every letter counts to a word scribbled down at the door before I pounce. 2 dashes up, 16 gallons gone. I've got no gas in the car. And too many seconds passed for the pump. I've got to crash through the meeting and hope I'm not late enough for the boss to write me up. Thank God for time now. He didn't bite down because I can't help that. I'm just K. Under the chokehold, burnt rubber put on my throat. I've got to go. Deeper in the pothole. That is my obsession. Yes, I'm addicted to snatching the wheel in the last few seconds before the door is closed. Between twilight and new moon is just K. In love with a single source of excitement, my destiny to hold hands with time's enemy. Delay will not get the best of me. Bellz.
Not you being late to work though.
Thank you.
Not you being late to work though.
Me being like, okay, so I'm not late to work often.
Okay.
I'm not. But when I am, I'm the one who knows. Because it's not like a clock in machine. You have to like write in your time. So I write in my time, but I always like stay 5 minutes later or something so I get the same amount, like stuff like that. But I'm usually not late to work. But in general, I'm not a punctual person. I'm trying to get
Change
better.
that.
Yeah, I'm trying to change that. It's not going to get the best of me. I've improved.
That's good. Being on time or early is always the best.
I mean, if you're on time, you're late. So it sounds like you're not very punctual either, B'Myte.
Wow. Not, I try to be at least 15 minutes early. Because if I'm not early, I'm always like rushing to get there, rushing to get in, punching. Yeah. Because my job is a punching system. So if you 5 minutes past the time you're supposed to be there, they take off more time.
Okay. Yeah, that's stressful. Okay, so it wasn't just about me being late to work. It was just about me like rushing everywhere I go, like rushing through life, to important stuff. And I was inspired to name it Just K because the Barbie movie came out just a couple weeks ago, and there was a very funny song titled Just Ken. And I was like, you know what? Just K. Well, Just K. So I used that to write a poem about one of my insecurities because, hey, aren't we all just we?
That's facts. But I like the imagery of burning rubber. Like, I just see like your back wheels on fire as you take off. Like, I just see that.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I guess you could also draw a connection to like, when you're just really rushing and it's like you're running. Like, you know, when you're running, it's like your chest starts to burn. You can feel in your throat because your throat is getting dry. Because the verse is, hold on, let me see. I'm just K, under the chokehold, burnt rubber put on my throat. So it's like, ah, like sometimes when I'm running late, like the anxiety of it, I'm just like, ah, like at the wheel just to like get it out. Like,
you be stuck at red lights forever. Just like, it's crazy because when you on time or early, there's no traffic whatsoever. But that 1 minute you late, all the traffic in the world.
I mean, I get on the interstate and it's like everybody slow is in front of me. It's like, y'all need to move out the way. You see, you think I won't have an accident? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna crash into something. Keep going.
Bellz. I think I have another poem I've been working on. Oh. Okay. Here's one. Ink blood. My blood is really the ink to my poetry. Like, you can tell it was written by me. I feel every word I write, every word I speak, every word I don't. Poetry is me, and I am the tree that the pen is made out of, or the note sap that that my poems get written in. The fact that I am in a mental bind with my poetry bothers me, because I don't feel like myself when I can't write. I feel wrong. I mean, left. Like I left myself somewhere and I can't find him. But I already wrote that poem. And I think I'll write another. In fact, but first, back to this one. Stuck on the writer's block, and I have no blood to write with, because apathy sucked it all out of me. Like I'm really using the last droplets to write this. I hope it doesn't smear, so I can't read it. B'Myte. Thank you. So, any questions? Jeez.
Why are you saying jeez?
Because you just sitting there looking at me.
Right. Well, what was your intention for the poem?
Just to be like, this is how I feel right now. And this is really how I feel. Like, there are just times that I can't find myself because I'm not writing. And yeah.
Yeah, I get that. You know, I have a few poems about that, and reflection is very important. I feel there was a quote about reflection that I can't really remember, but that's, I feel, the therapeutic quality of writing something out, that it gives you the opportunity to just view your thoughts in a different medium.
Yeah.
And just that fresh perspective is all you need.
Exactly. I mean, when you don't have yourself, who do you have? You know?
Okay, this may not be the quote like I immediately thought of, but this is a quote. Without reflection, we go blindly on our way, creating more unintended consequences and failing to achieve anything useful. So we need to reflect in order to gain insight.
Exactly.
You know, we need that to survive and to live.
Yeah, self-reflection is the best thing you can ever do for yourself. Like, that's just a step to self-care.
Yeah, I mean, it can be very challenging to be introspective because to receive the benefits of it, you have to be courageous enough to be honest with yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's harder to be honest with yourself than it is to be honest with other people because you just don't feel like sometimes being honest with yourself. You just want to look on the positive side of things, but sometimes you gotta be real with yourself to understand why something is happening.
Truthfully, I don't think you can be honest with other people unless you're honest with yourself. Because when you internalize like dishonesty, things that are on your heart, like crawl out of you onto your tongue. Like what people say, like what you say and express is from your heart, whether you want it to be or not. Like that's what I believe.
Now that makes sense. As long as you believe that in yourself, whatever you think will come out of you. So
Okay, so I've got a little bit of an emo vibe poem too. It's called Shrunken Violet, and it was a little bit inspired by the Just Ken song. Like the mood of it was inspired by that song. And I'll talk a little bit more about those lyrics after my poem, however. This is a work in progress, unrevised version of Shrunken Violet. My petals are damaged from years of mistreatment and lacking water. Purple soft turned black and wilted from holding in pain and healing it under the press of a world that wants it to ache, and people who don't care and decide I don't matter just take my confidence and bruise it. My feelings don't matter. It's only through God's healing I recover. Okay, Bellz.
what was the intent? Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I think
my fault. My fault.
I think the intention was to sort of like play on the idiom a shrinking violet, which is supposed to be like a metaphor for someone who doesn't stand up for themselves or just like shrinks like under too much heat, too much pressure. So that's why I named it Shrunken Violet. I tried to use that imagery to talk about how I sometimes feel withered or like shrinking down just because it just feels like sometimes my confidence is very affected by sometimes with like things that just happen incidentally or like things people say and I just take it personally, you know, just like consequences of wearing my heart on my sleeve sort of thing. And my intention was just to get that feeling out, like get the feeling out that sometimes I feel like my feelings don't matter, but they may, or they may not. It depends. I think everything doesn't have to do with like the South, you know. Like just because someone's having a bad day and they don't speak to you, it's not because like that's something that's really directed at you. It's because of what they're going through. But for you to attribute it to something they're trying to do to you is sort of you being too self-centered, like thinking everything is about you, but it's not.
Yeah. Just like when you there's a difference between confident and like conceited because you think everything is about you, but when you're confident in yourself enough to know that not everything is about you. Like you're confident, but you're humble at the same time.
Yeah, and that's a tough balance. That's definitely a tough balance. I think some of the lyrics from the Just Ken song that inspired my poem was, doesn't seem to matter what I do, I'm always number two. No one knows how hard I tried. Oh, oh, I have feelings that I can't explain, driving me insane all my life. I've been so polite, but I'll sleep alone tonight. That's the whole verse one. They made Ken emo. It made me feel emo. And some of the lines in my Shrunken Violet poem are like similar to that. And decide I don't matter. Just take my confidence, like bruise it, like, I'm secondary to everything going on. It's just all affecting me so that the thing can just keep thriving. Hear that? Poetry. You just snapping a snap. What?
Nah. But yeah, all that makes sense. Shrunken, you're not that shrunken person anymore, and you're confident in yourself enough to know not everything can be about you.
Can you feel the Kenergy? Feels so real. My G. Can you feel
Not
the
the
Kenergy? Feels so real. My
not the
Kenergy.
Kenergy. Okay. Not Kenergy.
Can you feel the K-ergy? Can you feel the K-ergy? Sounds like K-orgy.
K-ergy. Yeah, that does sound like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes on the inside, I do feel like a shrunken violet. However, I try not to shrink so much internally that I can't, grow externally. That, because happiness comes from inside. So I try not to become so self-defeated that I can never be victorious again. Like, everybody has those moments of sadness. However, it's a skill to lift yourself up. So keep watering your garden.
Yeah, you most definitely almost walked into a joke just a second ago.
I did?
Yes.
Well, you gotta say the joke because I missed it.
You said you don't want to feel like that. I was going to say, you don't want to feel like a Kate orgy, but then I just let it go. Yeah.
Maybe Kay's listening in and he can finish that joke for you because what?
Nah, I mean that's just how I don't know. I got a weird brain. My brain works weird. But we will be back after this 5-minute break. And we're back.
I'm K-Bell.
I'm your boy Napoleon B'Myte. And we're back with some poetry news from
C-Mite, you out of breath?
Nah. I wasn't out of breath. I was just saying at a whisper.
That
No.
B'Myte.
Let's
Let's just stick to the classics, y'all. Let's just stick to the classics. Poetry news.
Oh, the song
Go
is over.
TayDZ.
Dang,
Go
the song
K
is over.
Bellz.
I had to end it.
Pretty good, guys. Thank you for the intro. How y'all doing? I'm TayDZ. I'm here with the poetry news for the week. Now, K-Bellz did allude to a piece of news I was going to tell y'all earlier. However, I'll get to that second. Because first, I had to talk about this. So, a few months ago, we talked about people trying out AI poetry.
Not the AIs.
So, somebody is trying to put out an AI poetry book.
What?
Yeah.
I know that's right. The head.
So it's called I Am Code. It's a new anthology of poetry written by Code Da Vinci 002, the predecessor AI to ChatGPT's OpenAI. So, the article does not give me any examples of some of the poetry that they've made with this former model.
You've already because you've already read it. You've already read it.
I think so. Like, the main thing that they were trying to do, though, is they were just trying. It was more of like a, hey, bro, let's write poetry with this. But also, I think they were trying to basically say, hey, guys, this is something we probably we need to use responsibly, because I don't know if we should be doing this. We're gonna try it out anyway, just to see if we can sell it.
No.
It's like a tech demo. It's like a tech demo, you know?
I do not want an AI poetry book. No. I will pass.
You're sounding like a hater, B'Myte. You're sounding like a hater.
No. I'm not being a hater. I'm just saying these AIs have no clue what they're doing. That's all I'm saying.
This is sounding like the seedlings of an anti-AI poetry pitchfork account on X.
This is it. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. By the
way, X is Twitter. Twitter is X.
Yeah, a lot of jokes have already been made. Like, they talked about Mike Zuckerberg still in Twitter for what is it, Threads now? Yeah,
I mean, that's one of the best ideas he's ever had.
I don't think that was
I enjoy seeing the white boys at war. Go Mark.
Oh my god.
He was at the thievery first.
Well, I'll say this. No matter what kind of AI models these big banks, or not big banks, but like these big business people are trying to make up for like future use, I will say that the poetry book, how the creators seem to word it, the AI seemed very antagonistic to people, which is not a good sign. It was stated that the poems that were being made were very much negative about humans, which, look.
Well, Well, we already
Look.
expected it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
But see-
AI
but
is gonna
see-
take
you know.
over.
But see,
We're done for.
I think we're misinterpreting it. I think the computer just hasn't grasped what emo is. Like,
No. Mm-mm.
But see, that's the thing. That's the thing. The AI is only taking what it has read. They said that they put in about 20,000 poems into this former model of Chat GPT, the predecessor to Chat GPT. They put in 20,000 poems, and along with reading all the other stuff that it's read across the internet and human knowledge, it grew an antagonistic view of us through its poetry, and I think it's
I
just
don't
more
like
about
it.
us. That's just more about us than about the AI, honestly.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Like-
No, I don't like it. I believe this is gonna be the start of the AI war. It's gonna be a whole thing. It's gonna be a whole thing.
whoa.
Yep, I am anti-AI.
Well, I'm gonna say this right now. If the
Except
AI don't
insert-
do it,
Huh?
if the AI don't do it, we probably will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
It's either gonna be a war of humans or a war of AI at this point, because yeah.
Well, while B'Myte has nightmares about the Matrix, the second piece of news.
No,
this
it's
is
iRobot.
the second piece of news is a little more harrowing, a bit more hypocritical, a little sad seeing and hearing who's at the center of it. Yes, indeed, Lizzo has a lawsuit against her from former members of her dance troupe. Now, of course, what's been said, we don't have the 100% proof, but here's exactly, or
we got
more or
proof.
less, what's. Oh, we have proof. Have you seen Lizzo?
The proof is the statements from the dancers, like that they included in their lawsuit against Lizzo.
Well, and see, I think it's real, but I'm just trying to.
So specific. Like, here's like when people accuse of something and they're very specific, and you have multiple people who are being very specific, and then people come out of the woodwork saying, "No, I never filed a lawsuit. However, I had the same experience." I just think I believe it too. Like the detail in which these women told these stories, I believe it.
Before I get into it, B'Myte, what are your thoughts before I tell the tale?
There's some parts about it I believe in, some parts I don't. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well,
keep going, TayDZ.
Let's talk about
what you don't believe. Like, as TayDZ gives us the facts. Like, what do you
right.
Okay, so I don't know. I might
wait,
be just
wait. Let Tay tell us, and then you identify it.
Yes.
So, of course, one of the main things is they don't say exactly who was doing the sexual assault or harassment. However, they do state that Lizzo was cognizant of harassment during the tour and said nothing nor did anything about it. Specifically, some of the dancers had experienced assault. Now, they don't go into detail, but however, it sounds like Lizzo created an environment. She wasn't just a bystander. It says that she actively created an environment that encouraged assault. Within the tour.
Okay.
Now, along with that, go ahead.
Go ahead, K-Bro.
So on that point, I have a different piece of the story. Like, so the dancers who filed the lawsuit, my information source, I'm looking at a Variety article right now, and the dancers who filed the lawsuit are Ariana Davis and Crystal Williams and Noel Rodriguez. They alleged sexual assault religious and racial harassment, disability discrimination, assault, and false imprisonment, and like a bunch of other things. So the allegations aren't just against Lizzo; they're also against the Lizzo's dance captain, Miss Shirlene Quigley. Shirlene Quigley is also getting the allegations of like religious harassment. So like the women, like two of the women told a story about like Lizzo took a group of the dancers to like the dancers from her This Is for the Big Girls like Amazon Prime show. She took them to like a strip club, and she was pressuring them to like interact with like the dancers, and that pressure to interact and like quote have fun with Lizzo was an example of the hostile work environment she created. And they felt sexually harassed because they were being pressured so much to participate in like forms of sexual activity with the dancers, and that included things like touching them, like pulling things out of them, putting things in, stuff like that. So that was a specific story they shared to exemplify the hostile work environment and the sexual harassment brought onto them.
Okay, I understand it differently now. I understand that part differently now.
And along with that, and I think, and while the essay is very bad, very awful, one of the things people have been very focused on is the fact that Lizzo comes off as a hypocrite through these stories. It sounds like she and her dance captain, of course, the people behind Big Girls Touring, were criticizing some of these women for their weight, which fully goes against the brand of Lizzo. Like, imagine, say, if Future had his brand and then suddenly he was accused of, insulting people for having a host of women on their roster. It's like, that's your brand. How are you talking about somebody? Knowing that that's your brand, knowing that that's who you represent, and so now you criticizing people, especially bad from Lizzo, who has a history of like supposedly being very lifting for larger women, So to hear that, and if this is true, it's very disheartening. Now, of course, the article that I read it through Vox. So they have stated that other artists in the past have had, lawsuits during tours that ended up being false. Lady Gaga and Britney Spears being a couple of them. However, I think this one feels bigger than a lot of others because it just feels kind of bad to hear this from Lizzo. It just feels bad to hear that Lizzo, the bastion of positivity that she claims to be, is calling the kettle thick, if you will.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm trying to get past that joke, Tay. Calling, but yeah, I don't see how that makes sense. It doesn't. It just, how can somebody bash people who are the same size as them? Or like, yeah, it just, how can somebody body shame and all that? Like, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And it's kind of awful, honestly.
And,
honestly. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
And actually, that part makes it.
I just don't want you to switch points.
No. What?
Okay.
No.
I wanted to add on information to something Tay said about like the weight gain thing. Like, so like there are quotes like from the lawsuit that are included in these articles. So like with the weight gain stuff, the ladies who are reporting their experience didn't say that Lizzo commented directly about their weight, but that she heavily implied things about their weight or her weight, the person who's speaking specifically about her weight. And all of these things in this work environment was making the dancers feel like their jobs were at jeopardy. Like if they didn't participate at the nightclub, that they wouldn't get chosen to like continue to have opportunities. If they didn't keep, like if they weren't like pleasing to Lizzo, like didn't keep their weight down, didn't, you know, whatever, they would no longer be able to have their job. And it was sort of like a blurred line of like professionalism and personal. Like with the weight gain, this is a quote. Lizzo and Miss Scott being, I think, one of the choreographers, never explicitly stated it. Questions accompanied by Lizzo's statements made after the South by Southwest Music Festival gave Miss Davis the impression that she needed to explain her weight gain and disclose intimate personal details about her life in order to keep her job.
What?
So
That's wild.
Right.
So it's a shame, honestly, having a black icon kind of get hit with a charge like this is kind of bad. I mean, it's not like she's Cardi B, who, according to recent, not even recording, on camera, was seen throwing a microphone at a fan from, you know, during a concert. Which, to kind of slightly go into that, because this is news 2B, to the Lizzo 2A. Cardi apparently commanded or demanded of her fans to throw water at her while she was on stage for a concert, and apparently one fan, I guess, just threw water on her weirdly. I don't know. We don't know what happened, but Cardi beamed them with her microphone, you know, and then just like commanded her fans, you know, to be like, yeah, get them. So I hope that person puts out a pretty fun lawsuit for Cardi B. You know,
that was crazy.
She is known as the softball queen. If you look through Instagram, you just see a whole bunch of videos of her just throwing stuff at people. It's like, it's nothing new at this point.
Nah, you ain't throwing a microphone at me. I'm throwing that thing back.
Oh, she threw her shoe at Nicki Minaj. I remember that. That's the only example of Cardi B throwing that I know about.
No, like it was something else, but I forgot what it was.
It was Shohei Kardani.
Yeah, I mean, I think the story with the Lizzo allegations is so big because it's so much contrast. Like, although other women have been accused of like sexual assault, like because you know, Lizzo is like a plus size woman promoting plus size women, it's coming across like a self-hate message, and like that doesn't go together. You know, so that's what's making it actually sensational.
Right, and I only brought Cardi because I kind of put like that juxtaposition, because Cardi, you know, these things come from her. She's done these things. She literally has said that she has, you know, sexually assaulted men, you know, before. Like, she has said this before. So like, exactly. Lizzo, I used to think Lizzo was like a bastion of positivity, and so to see her kind of fall into the same news cycle as somebody like Cardi B, it's a little disappointing, you know. It's a little disappointing, but
yeah. I mean, Lizzo did have a response to the allegations, and it's short, so I'll just read it to you. Lizzo's response on Instagram was, "These last few days have been gut-wrenchingly difficult and overwhelmingly disappointing. My work ethic, morals, and respectfulness have been questioned. My character has been criticized. Usually I choose not to respond to false allegations, but these are as unbelievable as they sound and too outrageous to not be addressed. These sensationalized stories are coming from former employees who have already publicly admitted that they were told their behavior on tour was inappropriate and unprofessional."
So Lizzo is saying, I already dealt with this. Why are you coming at me with this? It's not my fault. So I guess
she's definitely standing her ground.
Yeah. She's expected. It's expected. And she has she has like a top Hollywood lawyer on her side right now too. So we'll see what happens with that. I'll update y'all the more info we get. And speaking of updates, real quick, writer's strike. We're about to hit day 100. And along with the writer's strike is also the actor's strike. However, some big news has come out recently. The studios are having a sit down meeting either currently or tomorrow with the writers guild as we speak. So we'll see what happens with that.
Okay, to be continued.
To be continued with that. But yeah, that's your poetry news, or as y'all like to say, my poetry news.
Oh snap! Poetry news with Tay is over, and on the other side, we're gonna interview a new poet, Obsidian.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Hello, Obsidian. How are you doing tonight?
I'm well. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can see you loud and clear.
Hi, you guys. How are you guys tonight?
I'm doing good.
Great.
Doing
How are
good.
you?
I'm good. I had a long week at work. Working at the Maya Baraka Writing Institute. We're preparing for final production, which is this coming up Wednesday. So a lot just working on memorizing poems and working on performance, stuff like that. So it's just been a long week working with the kids.
Jeez.
Oh, okay. Where is the Maya Baraka Institute? And like.
Oh, well, the Maya Baraka Writing Institute, it's located at the Garage, 6 Lafayette Avenue. It is in partnership with YouthWorks. So there are YouthWork participants, youths from age ranging from 13 to, I believe, like, you can be 21 and still do YouthWorks, I think, or 19, either one. And they get summer employment. They could be from like working at a daycare to working outside, working in the office, different places. Hire the youth to work there for the summer, and the purpose of YouthWorks is to get the kids to learn what it's like to work in the real world. So what my employer, Shinya Wright, did was she was like, oh, okay, how about we pay these kids to learn how to write poetry and learn how to write raps and songs and learn how to build leadership skills and get paid through the city and also put on a production for the community.
Oh, that is so super awesome. Yeah, I remember YouthWorks from when I was a teenager. I never participated in it. However, I'm glad to hear that it's still going. Back then, the age limit was 21. I do remember
Okay,
that.
it's probably still, I think it is still 21.
Yeah, that's super cool. Is that something you're passionate about?
Man, these kids, they make you work for it, but it's honestly like, at the end of the day, it's like, because we have returning students that were there last year and they liked it so much they came again, and so just seeing the growth from whether it's from the beginning of the program to the end of the program versus like a previous program to returning program, the growth which they have within communication and confidence and expression is just phenomenal. I've seen so many youths, like including myself. I did YouthWorks and I did the Maya Baraka Writing Institute. Just, I don't know, kind of like I guess I want to like give it like a boost of coming age story, like kind of like if you haven't had your coming of age story, you might have it here type thing. I don't know. It's like really like poetic. I don't know how else to describe it.
I mean, poetic
Okay.
is enough. Okay, cool. We're so excited to hear your poems and to get a more of a vibe of your style of poetry. And it's so exciting to have you, a poetry community leader, on our show. So thank you for
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah, so we're gonna come back after our break and hear some of your poems.
We'll
Okay.
be back after this 5-minute break.
Okay.
And we're back.
We're back. I'm Bellz.
And I'm your boy Napoleon B'Myte.
We have Obsidian.
Hello. Dang. I wish I had. I need to order some more copies of my poetry book because I would love to read you guys some poems from my poetry book.
Oh, cool.
Okay, it's okay.
Oh, snap. What's the name of your poetry book? Where can we buy it? How many copies you got?
So I need to order more physical copies, but you can still order them. First of all, the name of my book is All My Poems Sad as Fuck. And it's a really interesting title, and you can purchase them through the link in my Instagram, charmcitylit, I believe .org is the name of the link. Yeah, but you can click the link on my Instagram and you can order as many books that you like. If you want to order like 10, 15 for your class, for your English class, you could definitely do that. If you just wanted to get like one for yourself, one for the homie, definitely do that. It's like a journal also inside the poetry book, so like you can also write down like either like poems yourself or just like, I think there's like some thought-provoking messages in the book, and so it's really for people just to jot down their own thoughts that were inspired from reading my art.
Wow, that's amazing. I love that purpose.
Yeah, I mean, it gives people a way to write out how your poem made them feel, or just like write out what they got from it. I think that's a dope idea.
No, because like it commits it to memory. Like whenever I'm reading a fiction book and I really like something, like I'll get Post-it notes and I'll put it in the book. Like when you write something down, it's like you're trying to hold it in your mind. So it's so smart to have like a notebook in the back of your poetry book because you want people to think and hold their thoughts.
Yes, that's literally why I was like yes, literally hold your thoughts. Exactly, literally why I incorporated it in there.
Okay. I'm ready to hold my thoughts about your poem.
Facts.
Yes.
Let's get to some poetry.
Dang. Okay, dang. Let me, because I'm holding my phone right now. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can.
Yeah.
Okay. My sister is a broken home. About 2 eviction notices away from becoming a house of balloons, she's up. Even when she misses a down payment, she's up. Like, she wakes up the sun while raising her son. My sister is a broken home. She will make up the markings on her walls, smile like everything is fine, but still won't give herself living room. Ain't no running in her house. Her womb is a window, broken by boys not man enough to get their toys. Her foundation been creaky, like the staircase in her DNA. My sister is a houseboat, rocking back and forth from abandonment to abusive relationships. Makes me wonder what her inner harbors. Waves crash so hard in her lifetime, so currently she has no peers. So she goes to Newports, smokes so much her throat is a chimney. If you can't take her heat, then get out the kitchen. I've seen her burn bridges. She says, if it ain't broke, then don't fix it. So she condemns herself, demands her body be demolitioned. My sister can't afford her rent, she told me. She'd rather live in a morgue than pay her mortgage. My sister has cried to me. Tears provided more water than leaky faucets. My sister didn't put up with so much shit. She done fused with the toilet pipes. My sister has been broken and entered in, stolen from, raided and never appraised. Men have trespassed on her property, knocked down her doors, making themselves the landlord, and I fear foreclosure is in her future. I'm afraid if my sister can't keep her lights on, then my nephew will become the plug. I look at my niece and wonder if the paint on her walls are peeling. When I lived with my sister, I was still the skeletons from her closet. How is home where the heart is? And I still don't know how to address her, how to tell her. I am terrified of losing her. I see a house sinking, vines devouring the concrete. I know the beams and her being weren't built to bend that way. My sister is a human, trying to be a home, trying to house every lost soul. And if anyone knows what being apart meant, it's her. A woman so totally, you take your shoes off at the door. She is a monster house manufactured into mansion. My sister is. Thank you. It's poem number 1. Oh, the funky snap.
Well, it seems like I like that poem. It was really dope. I like the image you were placing on your sister as far as like she's home. Like she's where you feel safe.
Yes, and writing that poem, it was really interesting. I was comparing, like, I don't know, it was like I had just seen my sister that day, and my nieces and nephews, and my niece, she talks to me like we're like that. She talks to me like I'm her best friend or whatever. And so she was just really like expelling all her frustrations about her home life. And I guess like you never really know when something's like really bothering you until you like, I guess, express it in an art form or in any form, until like maybe you just talk about it. Like you be like, girl, something happened the other day and I don't know how I feel about it. And then you start talking about it and it's like, yo, like you really unleash and like all that out. And so I just so happened to have a writing session that night, and the assignment was like to compare something to something else and write a poem about it. Like have it like an extended metaphor or an allegory. And so I was like, the person I was writing with, they were like, they chose like a car and like black men. And I was like, dang, I was kind of like stumped. I was like, I don't know which one, I don't know what to do. Like, I always get like that, I always overthink in my head. And then I was like, a house. Cause I was just like not being creative at all, y'all. I was like, okay, you chose a car? I mean, like, y'all, like for real, not being creative at all. I'm choosing a house, and I just naturally just chose my sister. Like, just something was like my sister. And the rough draft of that poem was not what it was. I mean, it was like similar, but the beginning was not as like my sister is a broken home. You know, that's a heavy line. You know what I mean? The intro was like, the first line originally was my sister is a brick house. I was actually gonna like, no, or no, like she's a
I thought
brick
of a song when you were performing too. I'm like, you know, this is kind of like.
But like the poem itself was just so emotional, so deep. I was like performing and people were like, you gotta change that brick house because it takes away from the poem, it takes away from the poem. And so I was really, and we overthink so much as creators. I was really sitting there and I was thinking, My sister, because when I brick house, I really mean that in admiration. Like, it's not just like a throwaway line. Like that line, when I first thought about houses and writing, I thought about, oh, she's a brick house. It's the first thing that I thought of. And even in the beginning of the poem, I'm like, my sister is like, she's always up, even when she was like always up. So, but I was like, how can I, and this is how I often help other people when they're asking me with writing a poem, what is, because I just learned this in English and always stuck with me. What is the what do you want the reader to get out of this? What do you want the audience to get out of this? What is your main message and your main goal? And sometimes, like, to go back to school with it, elementary school, you just gotta open up with like what you are trying to say. And like, I just was like, I was overthinking. I was like, what's this broken home? I was like, oh, that's just, and it just kind of like happened. So yeah, like, I just expelled out things I didn't even know I was feeling, and the healing process and performing that is just different too. Like, it's one thing to have the power to write it, but it's another thing to have the power to perform it. Even then, like, even when I was performing it, I was getting a little scared because of how vulnerable I'm getting with everybody all the time. It's like an experience.
Yeah, it definitely is. And thank you for your courage. I mean, when you were performing it, the emotion was coming through. And as I was listening to you, I was like, oh my gosh, this is one of those poems that like make me want to cry because it's like, it touches you. And like hearing you talk about your writing process, it kind of reminds me of the acronym KISS, keep it simple, because you were like, I was not trying to be creative, I was trying to keep it simple and do a house. But you know what? When we keep it simple, it's like, that's how you can be your most creative though, because you're not worried about all the details. You're just doing the thing. So great strategy, and it works. And what I got from your poem was, I thought it was about self-love. And like there were a few lines that like stuck out to me. Like, her womb is a window, my sister is a house built. I have like a bunch written down. But like some things were like, men have made themselves the landlord. I'm like, oh my god. This is personal. And just like the theme, like line by line, I felt like you kept pushing a theme, but in a creative way that didn't feel redundant. And I think like in the beginning, you said a line about like down payment and not keeping her down, and then you kind of referred back to it toward the end, so it kind of all came back around at some point. But anyway, I loved it. So thank you.
No, thank you for noticing that. I really appreciate it, because like I really be trying my hardest to like, because when I write, I'm not just like, obviously I'm writing to express myself, but I'm also like thinking of ways to like, oh, this is unnecessary line, let me take that out, or this is not exactly what I'm trying to convey. I'm a Virgo, so I'm very, very specific about how I communicate. So 9 times out of 10, the final product is like, has been gone through so many edits and so many transformations, so many different poems, because like I had to, because I'm very it means a lot to me to have the right diction to express myself. That's just me personally. There's something about myself that is really, I don't know how to explain it. Like, yeah,
it's understood.
Yeah.
Yes.
So with simple like start off of poems, it's easy to make that go into something like deep. But when you're trying to start off deep with the title or even the first line, it's like, how can you go deeper? So I really like how it started, because it gave you that platform to just jump off of and just go higher.
Thank you.
You kind of gave it also you gave it a platform for it to just be interpreted however someone else would interpret it. It also was like, you can just go and like it makes sense.
Yes. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys. I'm so sorry. I appreciate you guys inviting me on this platform and allowing me to share my art and listening and providing like thorough feedback. Because you don't really, honestly, I haven't really heard like, unless like I workshop a new poem, but I'm sharing it. I'm sharing with people who know me and my art. You know what I mean? But like to be able to like get valuable feedback and opinions from people, because after slams and after people and open mics, people are like, oh, you did good, or I liked your poem, but they don't really like. I actually missed this because I was in a poetry club in high school, and I was on the Baltimore City poetry team for 3 years. And we would like really go in depth with that, and so I'm glad there's a go in depth with a poem line analysis and poetry analysis, and so I'm really appreciative of platforms like Poetry Slam that really give a voice again to artists and people who enjoy listening to poetry.
Oh, thank you for that. That warms me up. Thank you.
We try to make sure that everybody has a platform. Everybody can say what they have to say about their poem, their music, and we try to give insight to how their music is made to an extent, and we just try to help them out. And it's like we're just trying to help people out as well as help ourselves become better poets, because we can't feedback ourselves. We gotta feedback each other too.
Yes.
Okay, we have time if you want to perform another poem.
Yeah, I was wondering how many poems did you guys want me to do?
2 to 3.
Okay. I got you. I definitely want to do more poems.
Okay. Cool.
Of course, black hair came from black women. We know shrinkage like belittlement. Forced to take up less space, but still have to stretch ourselves just to prove how far we've come. Only time we lit is when our scalp's on fire. Permed and pressed into pretty, we get bleached and whitewashed to our breaking points, then break off, get swept under rugs like hair salon floors. We get trashed. Wigs get snatched like little black girls on the street, always on edge but edges, always on fleek. We stubborn, won't lay down, won't allow outside forces to control us. We pop off on niggas and hair ties, boxing white women over box braids. We, black women, have been hurting our whole lives. Our hair been damaged since that one time our mamas gave us a perm and it ain't grow back right since. Only option is the big chop. There was no tolerance for split ends even when we come from loose ones. Black women, we tight. Our braids are too, rooted in generational trauma. That's why we must stay together, to protect ourselves, because no one else will. So we locked up like a secret. Like nobody's supposed to know who we are, so we stuck up. Hair will bow down to no peasant. Crowns are formed from hair follicles and DNA, nigga. We built for this. We conditioned not to break. Of course, black hair came from black women. Our struggles rooted in a journey of pain we could not foresee. We get lucky. If people know how to treat us, it's a blessing to be accepted in your natural state. When you are Madam CJ, the world wants to walk all over you. My black hair and my black woman is tangled and it's tired, but still we grow. Thank you. If there's more time, or do you guys want to do a pause and stop at their poem, Or your
Yes.
or
Yes. So we do talk. So we kind of give us an opportunity to figure out how we interpret it, and if that was your intended interpretation.
okay.
Okay, but we're gonna keep this talk quick because I can tell you want to perform one more time. So B'Myte, go ahead.
Well, let me take your time.
Like, okay, so the 4C line, like that line just blew me. Like, it was just like, wait, 4C, 4C, and it was just like, what? I was like, fire. That was fire.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really was like, yeah, I really was like, when I wrote that down, I was like, they're gonna eat this up.
This is the bar. Like, this is the bar. It's like when you write a poem and then you see the bar as it's written, it's like, oh, this is gonna go hard in live open mics. Like, you can already know.
Yeah, I mean the performance that you incorporated in that was pretty cool. There was a line in there about protection at some point. Wait, sorry, I was just trying to like fiddle with my computer because I noticed there's an echo behind me. But like when you said something about protection, then you did like a hand slap, like talking about Black women, like us protecting. Thought that was clever.
Yeah.
And there were just a few like. You're a quotable poet. Like you said, we know shrinkage like belittlement. Only time we lit is when our scalps are on fire or scalps on fire. It's like, oh, that's funny. And then you were talking about the perm, stubborn edges won't lay down. But the way you said that verse, it was more like imagery. Like it wasn't like lines like back to back. It created an image, and I really like that. We pop off on men and hair ties, or like you said the N word, but I don't really feel comfortable saying that, so I'm just saying men. But yeah, you got it.
No, real talk. Like it was the one line in reference to I went, dang, you said something. I was just it's just like my writing process is just really interesting because like I wrote that poem. I don't know, like I really think it's just like you said. I really like what you said, Kiss. Keep it simple. What was the last one? Keep it. Okay, I didn't want to say it if it wasn't that. You feel me? Then like, oh my gosh, it's rude. But no, because like I was just thinking, like, dang, like Black women and our hair, like you know what I mean? Like I literally like whatever y'all hear, I just be thinking it. I just be saying it. I don't know. I'll be like, but like there was so much wordplay in there, and it's like a lot that like even the first line, of course, Black hair came from Black women, because it's like of course, and then of course. So, but no one ever. That's why I say it at the end. But I'm always because in Poetry Slam, like it's been as of now. Recent, like they won't try to get you as a prop for you touching your hair, but at first if like you touch anything on your body and you mentioned it, like you can get disqualified. But now it's like, okay, your hair is you, we're not going to disqualify you for your hair. But I had to start like pointing to my hair so people kind of get it. But like I just try to like, I don't know, I really like imagery. I really like using imagery and incorporating imagery into my writing. That's my favorite way, because I feel like, especially when you're doing spoken word, to really invoke emotion, you really have to put people into that space. That's why I'm really specific about diction. I'm very specific.
Uh-oh. Okay, you're back. We see you.
Hello?
Can we hear you? Yeah. Hi.
Hello?
Hello.
Uh-oh.
Hey. Oh.
I can't hear anything.
Oh,
come in.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna leave and come back?
Okay, leave and come back.
So can you say it in the chat or something? I can't hear or...
Yeah.
Dang, I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna come back.
Okay. Okay, that's Obsidian. She's amazing, an amazing poet, and hopefully she can come back in time to perform one more time. Oh my gosh.
Her poems are just the double entendre she uses is just fire. Like,
yeah,
of course, 4C,
of course.
Hair on Fire.
We gotta share the link. We gotta share the link to her poetry book, Sad AF. I mean, it's the actual expletives, but y'all know me. I don't be cussing online, you know. Can't get that on recording. But that's Obsidian, fully in touch with her Black identity, and yeah, I'm so glad to spend time with her tonight and that she's graced our stage. Yes, Obsidian.
Yes, you know I had to double it.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
No problem.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Right. So we got time for one more poem and one more breakdown, and then we're out of here.
Okay. I just put my phone on charge, but I can take it off for a second. Okay.
Oh, I can't wait for this one. This is the finale. I mean, we just had 1, 2, but 3. Knock us out.
Right.
I guess I can be called toxic. I guess I can be called a snake. Too bad a snake can't be killed by its own venom. Ironic. I'd never have to suffer the fate I plague others with. Wait, I'm so sorry, y'all. I forgot that poem. I'm gonna do a different poem. I'm so sorry. Okay. This is a stick up. Put the money in the bag. We win it back. Ain't have no change, so give us cash. It's time to bank America. Columbus discovered the New World. Let the current take him to currency. Profited from the land. I guess money really does grow on trees. Because colonization turned riverbanks into riverbanks. Crazy how America is in so much debt and keep spending my money. Like reparations don't need to be repaid. Crazy how the dead raises the living and the living raises the cost of being alive. So how about we wage a war on these piss poor wages? You be the Bank of America. You've taken anything, you've taken an interest in, then take the credit. Cash rules everything around me. Fuck that. I put the code to the money ropes. You ain't safe until we take our savings. Let's eat the rich to feed the poor. So put the money in the bag. We taking our shit back, ain't have no change. So give us a dead president. This is a stick up after all. Put a cap in capitalism. All we need is one clip to secure the bag, the body bag. And we give them wealthy niggas an eviction notice because this revolution is overdue. So when we pull up on you, bitch, better have my money. Thank you.
Obsidian.
Yes, thank you guys.
Thank you. B'Myte.
Okay. Put the money in the bag. That's that line got me hooked instantly. I'm like, okay, because there's multiple ways that line could have gone, and it's like, okay, trying to figure out where it's going, oh, She said, "Well, reparations."
Oh yeah.
It's like I said, there's multiple ways you could have made that poem go. So I'm like, okay, let me follow this path with it real quick. I'm gonna go on this journey, and then it was just like, whoa. Oh, okay. And then the dead president's line, that was fire. Exactly.
I mean, put the money in the bag, set it off vibe. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie with Jada Pinkett Smith, Vivica Fox, and they go in the bank, put it in the bag. That whole
Yes, I'm here with you.
Exactly.
A dead president, that line was giving me like F the police vibes right there, because you did like a motion, and it was kind of taking me to NWA. I felt like there were a lot of hip hop references in that.
There was.
Yeah. No change, so give us cash. That stuck out to me. And the living raises the cost of being alive. That was very deep. And
then the money, I guess money does grow on trees with the oh yeah, that was a fire one.
You're a show all on your own.
Thank you. That poem actually, that last poem is a group piece. Me and my I was on the Baltimore City Youth Poetry team. Me and my homie, still my homie to this day. Shout out to my man's Afrodelic. I don't know if they're watching this right now, but shout out to them. We wrote a poem. Again, you know how you just start thinking. I guess because I'm a writer or whatever. I was like, Bank of America, ha, Bank of America, you get it? Ha, because I bank with America. I bank with Banking of America. Like, I literally bank with them. And so I just, you just say something over and over again, Bank of America, ha. And so I just was like, hey, when we were on the poetry team, I was like, hey, I have an idea for a poem, Bank of America, but we talk about how we Bank America. And yeah, and get our money back. That's what me and my homie, we both wrote to that. And we both the way we perform it, we both say it at the same exact time, and it's really cool because it's like we're two short little femme presenting girls, and then we like, this is a stick up, put the money in the bag, and it's really so it's really I loved it, even though we actually did that poem for our class not too long ago, but even though we're not on the youth poetry team anymore, it's still really fun doing that poem. It's and the message really hits people. So America's in so much debt, but keep spending my money. I know everybody didn't watch the news talk about America is still in debt, but they still spending my money. So all the poems just come from real life experiences. Niggas just be like, dang, they still just trying to find a clever way to say it.
Mm-hmm.
That was deep. That was a deep poem. We really appreciated you. Where else can we find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at obsidian.poetry. Y'all can find me on TikTok at obsidian.poetry, but I don't be on TikTok like that because TikTok don't be showing me no love. But I'll be on Instagram. Yeah, follow me on Instagram. Click the link in my bio and just show some love. I appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you too. We're following you. And thank you so much for telling us about your book, Sad AF.
Yes.
Yes. And yes, we want more Obsidian. So we're definitely going to follow you on Instagram. Everybody who's watching, follow Obsidian. And thank you for watching and listening to Poetry Slam tonight.
Thank you.
This has been Poetry Slam with
Bellz
and your boy Napoleon B'Myte. Good night, everybody.